As you can see by the title, A Child is Born is a new collection from Hunkydory, and Heidi has had a wonderful time creating projects for you. So please, come play with us. As I said, A Child is Born is the title of this, so just to show you the products that are being used. This is the luxury topper set, and it also has some bonus sheets inside of it. You'll be able to make at least 16 cards with it. Then there is also the imagery in what they call a bite-sized book. Now these are smaller. They're 4 1/8 by 5 7/8, and my goodness, there are 72 sheets in here. There are 12 designs, and you get 6 of each one. This is the foiled acetate, and wait till you see some of the imagery in it. Just beautiful. There are also the inserts, 36 of these. You're going to get 12 designs, and you get 3 of each one. And you can also see what Heidi's done with them. Now, the adorable scorable, this is the collection of 10 different cardstocks that will coordinate with the A Child is Born collection. Now, this time there are also 3 stamps. Now, I know it's kind of hard to see because the artwork is so light, but this is Bringing Gifts. It's got the 3 wise men. Let me see if it looks... No, it doesn't look any clearer on the back side. There's also the Nativity right there. And it's "Oh Come, Let Us Adore Him," and a little border. And then there's also Mother Mary. So this artwork you're going to see in the pieces that I'll be showing you also. And also, at paperwishes.com, if you click on any of the products, there is a product video. So I've walked you through every single piece in the whole collection. But let's get into what Heidi has done, because that's what we came to see. Now let me show you the very first card. And Steve, can we get a bit closer to this so we can really see it nice up close and personal? And as you can see, of course it's Hunkydory. Of course it's going to have the foiling, and isn't that beautiful? Now, what Heidi has done is she has taken, as I mentioned, there are 2 bonus sheets in the pack, and this is one of them. And this is called a Deco large. That's the term Hunkydory uses. And what it means is that there's a base area. In this case, it's 2 of them, but Heidi has elected to use them together, and you can see how that's become the piece on the front of her card. But then there are all these other die cuts that are also foiled, and you can layer them with foam tape. Now, and that's exactly what Heidi has done here. So you get depth to your project. You can see that her hood is in front or around her face. You can see that the baby is nestled in her arms, as well as the folds of her cloak coming out. And it just is always beautiful. Now, tip, you can use them as Heidi has done and do all of them. And by the way, you do layer them with foam tape. She likes to use the little foam squares because they're thin, and they'll allow you to put, let me see, she's got 4, 5, 6, she's got 8 layers right here. But it doesn't get horribly thick. It's not like inches thick. This is probably about 3/8 of an inch thick from the card base. So that works well. The other thing you can do is you can see how the pieces get smaller, and that's how the layers are built up. But you could also elect, maybe you wanted to use this Mary on another project because it has the complete artwork. And then you could add maybe this one on top and maybe separate them and get 2 cards out of one. Just an idea, my friends. Do whatever you like. Now, something else that's different in this collection, the inserts are normally, and are always actually, a kind of a ghosted back image. But in this collection, there are also some of them that are richer. They've got deeper colors, and this is one. In fact, Heidi used several of them. So this is the red piece, and you can tell that she took this 2 pieces, the frame and Mary, and matted it on this piece. And then she matted a second time onto the adorable scorable, the blue, as you can see here. It's just a very, very rich look. And then she did glue them onto the card. This is our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card, which is just perfect for Hunkydory, as it is for so many other things. Now, the the foiling just does a beautiful job, but Heidi wanted to add more to it. So she took our thin line colorful dazzles. Now these have multiple thin line dazzles on every single sheet, and there's a, let's see, I think there are 10 sheets in here. The blue one's on top, but there's also gold. There's just a whole bevy of colors. And you can see how she's added them, placed them on the blue Adorable Scorable, also around that red insert, also around the foil toppers. So it just accents that gold so beautifully. Speaking of accenting it, she also used the Christmas diamond sparkles. These are self-adhesive. They are kind of a half of a stone, and she's placed 3 of the blue ones here and 3 here. Now for this piece, this is one of the die cuts that's in the package. And this is a typical technique that Heidi does. She takes the piece and then she kind of rubs the bone folder under it, kind of like if you're doing curling ribbon, just to give it that little bump. And then she zots it in place, and so you can see she put 2 of the gold sparkles on there. And the bow is out of the brown ribbon set, which I think is really interesting because I don't know that you would think of brown specifically for Christmas. Now on the inside of her card, this is the insert. And as you can see, it is the ghosted back image of the one that's on the front. This is what it looks like. So she has simply placed glue on the outside of the card. And then I kind of like to make an X in the middle, and then position this against the fold, not over it, but against it. Push this down, turn it over, and trim to fit. It will do it perfectly every single time. We call that cover the inside of your card, or cover the outside of your card when you want that imagery to go all the way across. Here is another one of the die cuts, and you can see that Adorable Scorable and that thin line are right here next to the fold. Just really pretty. More of this blue sparkles going up here, and then a yellow one right there, and another blue, excuse me, another brown ribbon. Just really, really pretty. Okay, let's go to her next card. And isn't this luscious? I think everything in this collection is just rich and beautiful. Now what Heidi used as her card base are our gold glitter cards. Now these come with 10 cards and then also 10 envelopes. These 2 are the same size. They are the 5 by 6.5 inch. Heidi's elected to make a horizontal card, and you can see. Now in this case, she's gone into that little, that bite-sized book. Let's see, here it is. Okay, and she has elected to take this image out. Now, with these, you get 6 sheets of every single design. So you're going to get 6 of these. And what Heidi elected to do was to make her own, we would call it paper toll. Hunkydory calls it Art Deco. That's what they call what she did here. But in this case, you do have to do a little bit of cutting. Well, let me walk you through the steps first. She took one of the pieces and she matted it onto the Adorable Scorable. And as you can see, it is this yellow color. So that's her first layer. Then again into the inserts where you get these that are fully patterned. They are double-sided, by the way, but Heidi elected to use this one, and you can see the matting that she's done. Then, oh, by the way, all of the measurements are down below. You can see them. Just click on the card, and then you'll see the instructions over on the right. You'll see all the products that were used. So that is her card base, and she put it onto the gold glitter cards, as you can see. Okay, now how about doing the building up? Well, if you like to do some cutting, but maybe you don't want to do too much, well, this is what Heidi did. So she took one layer, and that's down flat, as we talked about. Then she took another layer and just cut around the circle, just around the outside, and that got foam taped. Then she cut out around the 2 angels, especially the two angels are showing. So that became our 1, 2, 3 layer. The fourth layer is just the center angel. And there she is. You can see how that is layered. Again, the foam tape just does a really good job. Now to accent this, she has taken the gold ribbon set, and she actually uses this later too. So this is the gold and silver, and that's just been zotted right here. Now the other thing that's added is the word joy, and that comes, as you would imagine, from our Christmas greetings collection. Now this has got script words as well as words and phrases. So you get it in two versions, in script and then also in stacked. Let me see you. This is got 10 sheets in it, and you are getting them in black, white, gold, silver, also in red and green. So these are the stacked ones, the tiny little Christmas words, as well as the script. And you can see the word joy, and there's also different little dazzles, so the stars are there too. So that completes our front. Now on the inside, she has taken, as you can imagine, the insert, just like this. She has first covered the inside with that same sheet of Adorable Scoreable, and then she cut the insert down, and again the measurements are in the on the project sheet, and then she matted that again on that dark red insert. So that takes care of that. Joy to you is the dazzle, more stars, and that just finishes that card. So they really do go together pretty quickly and easily because everything is designed to coordinate. So that's nice. Okay, I have 2 more cards for you, and here is the first one. Now this is a surprise because it's a double card. Yes, you're going to need 2 cards to create this. The first one is a gatefold, as you can see. Isn't that pretty? It just really does welcome you into that nativity scene. And then that's glued to the front of a card where we get the insert of that nativity scene, and then we've added more things. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to do. Let's start with the first card, and this is 5 by 6.5, you know. Now you'll take your card, or if you want to make your own card, just cut out a 6.5 by 10 sheet of cardstock. Then we're going to lay it flat like this. We're going to take the outside ends. I do recommend scoring them first, but it's up to you. You can just bring them in. One thing you don't want to do is overlap them. You just want them to meet in the middle. And then again, you're going to use that bone folder to really crease those to make sure that those side folds are just nice and firm so that your card will lay flat. Okay, so this is our first one, and we'll stay focused on this, okay? So what Heidi has done is she has taken a piece of that, you've got it, that double-sided insert. I'm telling you, she loves them. So 3 cards and 3 times she's used them. And this is the purple. Isn't that rich looking? So she cut this to size. Now this is going to end up getting cut in half, but at this point, just we'll cut 1 piece. So cut this and then mat it onto the light purple Adorable Scoreable. This is what I mean about everything in there matching. And then that is going to get cut in half. And then the 2 pieces, if you'll notice, are going to go on the front of the card so that they meet in the middle, and you're going to have a white border all the way around, okay, on 3 sides anyway. So that's going to do that. Now the other accent she added is the foiled acetate, which is something I just absolutely treasure. I think they're gorgeous. Now this has 2 borders, and you'll need to cut them separately. So they're going to fit right over that purple sheet. And the way that you can attach this is to put the extra sticky tape, this kind of tape, just underneath where there is a pattern. And then you can just position it right there, and then use to cut the other side or the other side of the gatefold, okay? So both of those get attached with the extra sticky tape. Now, to make this circle, she has used, of course, our 12 circles and scallops dies. That just works perfectly. And she used two things. Now, again, she's got that purple sheet out of the insert, so she's going to use that multiple times. She used it here with the circle, but then she pulled out the white glitter cardstock. If you have not played with this glitter cardstock, you're going to want to do that because it's just pretty wonderful. And that is going to be the base. You can also use that light lavender too. So your choice of things. Now, the dazzles that are on there, they come from a never-before-seen Christmas set that we brought out. And this has 20 sheets in it, so just all sorts. But some of them, or at least one of them, has these little sheep. It has Oh Holy Night. It has these stars that you can just add right there onto the front of the card. The ribbon is, or the bow is from the purple ribbon set, as you can probably imagine. Also, she has placed those Christmas sparkles that I showed you. What's nice about these is you get so many colors. So the purple is what she's used, and look, she's placed one inside each of the openings along that foiled acetate. Really pretty. Well, now I said that this is a gatefold. So what she's done on the inside is she first covered it with the metallic gold paper, not the cardstock. She used the paper, and this is 12 by 12. So she simply cut it to be the 5 by 6.5, glued it, and this covers up that fold that was showing, that score line that was showing. So then she took the that same duo that you've been playing with, the lavender and the purple, and did this strip. And then she went into the bite-sized book again, and she used this piece right here. And she did mat it onto the dark purple and placed it right here. Now, to coordinate with the front, she's got another piece of that foiled acetate right down here at the bottom. Same idea, attach it with the extra sticky tape and put the same purple Christmas sparkles into the openings. So that's just really pretty. And you can see that little border adds a nice little horizontal line underneath the manger. More of the dazzles are up in the sky, adding a much needed stars up there. Now this piece gets glued to another card so that you have that extra opening. Now, why did she do that? Well, I would imagine that this is just such a pretty presentation that this allows you to have a place to write your greeting. So that's really nice. Now, this is, as you can imagine, the insert is used, and isn't the insert pretty? It's got this white border. So she did trim right next to that, both horizontally and vertically, to let that nestle right into the inside of her card. And here is again the circle and scallop cutting die with that white glitter and with the gold metallic. The words are from the Never Before Seen dazzles, and again, more of the stars. And there are more of the sparkles down there, as well as more dazzles, just interlacing onto those really pretty borders. So this is our third card. You know, it's got a lot going on, but I think it goes together really pretty easily. So that's nice. But it's always nice to see the little surprises that Heidi has for us. And speaking of which, we've got some surprises in our fourth card. Now, this is a Slimline card. So Steve, can you back up just a smidge, just so you can see the whole thing? Okay, I'll scoot my stuff away. There you go. Okay. Now this is our Slimline. So it's 3.5 by 8.5, and they come with envelopes and everything. So what she has done is to take in the topper set, not only, of course, do you get the die cut foiled toppers, just like I showed you on the first card, but you also get matching printed cardstock. Some of them are foiled like this one, and some of them are simply printed, but either way they match perfectly. So what she's done is, doesn't this size just really lend itself to a slimline card? It really does. So you can see that she's taken advantage of that foil border, and she's cut just right next to it and matted that onto that gold metallic. Since you already have it for one card, might as well use it for the other one, and then glued that to the front of her card. Now, are you curious about what's going on up there? Let me show you. Now, this is an easel on top of a card. Here's what it does. You just lift it up, and that sits right there. Isn't that different? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Good for you, Heidi. Good thinking out of the box. So what you do, let me show you what she's used. Now, this is the topper. Here we go. This one, A Child is Born. And then underneath, she's used the Christmas wishes. You can see it right there and right there. So this is going to get foam taped right above that star, okay? These two are going to be attached with a piece of the next sheet we're going to use out of the foiled acetate. So in order to do that, we need to cut a piece that is 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. Again, the measurements are down below in the projects. And then you need to score it. So I'm going to place it horizontally, and I'm going to measure 1/4 inch, and I'm going to score it. And then I'm going to measure 1 1/4 and score it. So 1/4 and 1 1/4, all measuring from the left side. And then when I do that, I'm going to accordion fold it, just like this. And what's going to happen, and I can show this to you maybe on its side, we're going to take our friend, the extra sticky tape, because this is going to get moved around and we want to make sure it's going to stay secure. So we're going to take the extra sticky tape and put it here, and then also put it on the front, because the front is going to be attached to this arch shape. You can see it right there. And then it just, this is the tab at the top that gets glued down, attached with the tape. Okay, you got that? And then this piece, now this piece is just a tiny bit tricky, but you're only going to attach it to the side of that arch. And Heidi used 2 layers of foam tape, and that way it just builds it up nicely. Okay, it's not going to move, but you can't attach anything to the right side of it, so it's just to the left side to that arch. Really nice. And that acetate just gives a really sturdy piece. Now this has gone through the mail, it's sat in my office, I've been messing with it, and it's just fine. So that's good. The gold ribbons, of course, come from the gold and silver ribbon, as I showed you earlier. And also the Christmas sparkles, well, you see the blue ones down there. There's a gold one in the fire right there, and there's another blue one right there. Okay, let's go to the inside of our card. And what she has done is to use, as you would imagine, the insert. That's right. Here it is. Very pretty. Now, in this case, she has simply cut from the shepherd's staff over to make a piece. Again, the directions are in the project area. And she has matted it on, again, here is the 4th double-sided insert that is included in the package. And so you can see it's just a perfect size to mat this piece. So she's matted it just on each side, okay? Now, the other thing that she has done is to use that foiled acetate that we used in the front. We just did that little piece. Well, she's got a piece underneath the insert, so it would be like this. Okay, so when she matted it on the blue, I'll just exaggerate this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. the strip of gold is just going to go right along the edge, and then this is going to go right next to it. So it just illuminates it. Then for this piece, it's the border that's on the topper sheet. Okay, this is called the Brightest Star topper sheet, by the way. This Oh Holy Night, it's right here, and that gets foam taped, but it too has a piece of the foiled acetate just coming from the side of it. More of the Christmas sparkles, and there's another scent with All My Love. There's the topper, the gold ribbon, and the gold sparkles. There's some blue ones up there. So again, everything matches from the front of your card with that extra interest to the inside of the card. Notice the shepherd is on the right on the front of the card, and they design it so it's on the left on the inside. So it's the same image, but it has a different orientation, which is, I think, is just really, really nice. Just a glorious, absolutely gorgeous projects. Thank you, Heidi. And let me just recap for you. This is the A Child is Born Topper collection. You've seen the inserts, and with all of those beautiful double-sided papers, you've got the adorable scoreable. You also have the foiled acetate. Now, there are 3 other things in this collection that I showed you at the beginning, and those are the stamps. Now, Heidi wasn't able to create projects with those, but I know you can do that. Oh, I forgot. There's also the bite-sized book of A Child is Born. Now, this is the whole collection. You'll be able to see the money saver. It's always on the right side of your screen. It's still on the right side of your screen. And again, as I've mentioned, all of the projects are down below. Now, I do want to mention that if you're watching this on YouTube, we have not forgotten about you. If you'll look in the description box, which is below the video, you'll find a link that will take you to our Webisodes. And you'll see everything that I've talked about, and that's nice. Now, if you like this, if you like anything about our video, would you please give us a thumbs up? It helps people see us and find our channel, and that's something we really love to do, because after all, we're doing, let me see, 4 to 5 videos every single week. So that's a nice whole collection of things for you. And I do want to thank you, in addition to thanking Heidi, I want to thank you for joining us and for being part of our Paper Wishes family. We'll see you next time.